many months now? It's been more than 4 or 5 months that we've been doing this. We should be.
And we still can't get it right.
I'm gonna get a haircut. I'm getting a haircut.
Okay, we can give everybody time to join yet again. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. We're gonna get
Guys,
talked about.
I'm guys, I'm pretty sure you know that AHC lives cannot go properly. So I hope that you don't mind us. Just stay
Yes.
happy. Keep
Please
smiling.
please support. Just support us. We go through the struggle every time. Just
Things happen, and as Joanna said, life goes on.
It works in every scenario, not even in the bad times. Sometimes you be tripping a little bit, clumsy.
I'll give you flowers if you let us go.
yes. Yes. Me too. I don't have real ones.
Hey,
But I can be a flower. Oh my god. Like,
Okay,
yeah. Jeez.
okay, there's absolutely no one here.
I know.
We've
I've
been
been
cancelled too.
No, I don't want to cancel.
No, I'm saying we've been cancelled, not
Oh, we
you do,
probably
if
have
you want
been.
to cancel.
Well, we don't never really have a lot of people show up anyway, which kind of
Yep.
which, kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's usually like a few people on here. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, we usually have a few people come on, but we'll see. We'll give them since I took up the time of trying to reconnect everything. The way
yeah.
I wish y'all could have seen my face when all this happened, because I was like,
So what happened is I saw that your life started going like you were sticking and sticking and sticking. I was like, something is gonna happen now. And
I
then
just
your
was like,
laptop
I
was
didn't even get a warning. My computer didn't even give me a warning to say, hey, your battery's low or nothing. Just, they was like, we're
I'm
done.
always I'm always on charge. That's why whenever I try to come live with my laptop, I always plug in my charger even though my battery is full. I'm like, yeah, no worries. I
I
can't take
normally
that.
I normally I do
But
that, but I got like I have like three laptops here. I have two work laptops and my own, and I'm like, which one is my charger? My husband done moved my charger away from my laptop. I had no idea, couldn't find. Oh, it was just a whole dramatic mess, and I'm over here like, not on our birthday.
now there's a big chance as well that some people tried to join, and the time that they were trying to join us,
This is when I.
we were not live. Let's just say we'll start in a minute or something because
Yep. So it's 12:09. So we'll
people
give them to 12:10, and then we'll just roll with it because I'm
start.
sure Joanna's probably got stuff to do, and we can't be holding her hostage.
Yeah, and Joanna, if I change my personality in seconds, it's because I realize that we have been chaotic for a long time, and it's time to get back on track. So
okay, that's
don't,
fine.
so don't worry, it's not something dangerous. I just have adapted a lot of habits from Mr. Kim Taeyong. Uh,
One, the glasses. I'm kidding.
okay,
Okay, let's go.
yeah. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another AHC's live. I don't know why I always do this after 5 or 10 minutes, but it is what it is. Um, I hope that everyone is having a lovely and beautiful, beautiful Valentine's week. And I hope all the love for you. And with that, I would like to say happy birthday to everyone at EHC. Happy birthday, EHC, and thanks to all the volunteers and the management team for making AHC happen. AHC is nothing about all the team that AHC has. So, with saying that and saying happy birthday, I would like to introduce you. introduce everyone to another volunteer at AHC, Joanna.
Hi.
Sorry, the sound effects here are by us ourselves. So, but go on, Joanna. Please let us know what you do at AHC and how you joined AHC.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Shan. I'm Joanna, and I'm a writer at AHC. I have been with AHC for, I want to say, a year and a half. It's coming up close to 2, 3 years. And I've been really loving it so far.
Awesome. And for some of the viewers, again, thank you guys, whoever's here, for joining. Again, with, like Kanika said, without people like Joanna willing to volunteer and give their time, we would not be able to do what we've been doing. And we have been around for 5 years. So how did you, Joanna, find out about AHC and what made you want to join and help?
Well, I found out about AHC in 2021. I was still in quarantine, and I think it was in the spring, early spring, maybe February or March, something like that. And somehow, because I follow a lot of, I guess, Army threads and stuff like that, I saw kind of this application for, hiring volunteers and stuff like that. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting or whatever. And so I kind of applied for the writer and speaker roles. And then probably a few weeks later, then I was reached out to, and basically the rest was history. So
The rest was a good history, though. I would like to tell people that Joanna has worked with me. If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But if I'm not wrong, you have worked with me on a few projects, and especially the one that I did last, I guess, in 2021. Um, the the magic shop.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I have to say, these guys, there were like two writers that I had for that project, and these guys were coming up with such great quotes and prompts for the project. So I need to tell you that the writers at AHC are as amazing and as fabulous as we have the editors and the speakers and the management team. Um, they might be the back players, they might not be on the forefront a lot, but you have to understand that half of the content that is put out on AHC is because of these guys continuously working on it, trying to figure out the best way to reach out to you people. So yeah, the writers play a big role, and I mean, thanks to you all. Sometimes I see that the speakers are not there, but the writers are always there. Like the writing never stops. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Yes, our writers are just essential to a lot of the things that we do, a lot of our projects, a lot of our prompts, a lot of our tweets. Not the ones involved in the live stream. Y'all know I'm the one to do that because I say the same thing over and over. But we might have to get Joanne on there. Like, girl, I'm gonna need you to come help me promote.
The tweets for live are just chaotic and done by Tef. Sometimes I sprinkle on a little bit chaos with her, but it's mostly us. We
Yeah.
don't blame it on the writers, please.
Yeah, no. But our writers are great. And a lot of the things, a lot of the projects that we've come up with, a lot of the things we do is they wouldn't even be possible without amazing writers like Joanna and our editors and things like that, our graphic designers. We have some very talented people on our team. And again, for them to volunteer their time because they have lives too, and they could easily be doing something else other than being a part of AHC. And so they chose to give some of their time to us to help us, and that's an amazing thing. Um, Joanna, I know you said you applied for speaker and writer. Have you been a speaker? Have you been on and spoken to Army as well too, or just
Yeah,
stay with the
just
writing?
writing. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. I know this for a fact because I have the position of a writer, though I don't write a lot usually. But what goes on before a tweet is sent out is it's not like you write something and it's out. It's a long process and a long procedure that happens.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that as a writer, you're involved in the whole process from the start till the end that the tweet is sent out. So it would be fun for people to know that what exactly the writers have to go through. I say,
Yeah.
Right. For me, I know that every writer probably on the team has a different process because it is a creative process, but it also is having to keep in mind of, putting out inspirational quotes or like with Project Magic Shop back in 2021, dealing with, mental health stuff and having to cater and be very careful about how you word things. So when for example, I do a lot of the inspirational quotes that go up weekly. Um, and so for that, I usually go on my computer and I have like a little section in the notes app. Like,
Mhm.
and so what I do is I do one, two, three, or four, whatever, however many quotes I plan on writing. Sometimes I'll start maybe with four. And then if I feel a little bit more productive, I'll be like, okay, let's shoot to six. And so I will just start from there. And sometimes the quotes that I put out, sometimes it's interesting because it's almost like even though their armies are going to see it and stuff, it's almost like a message to myself because it could be something that I'm going through subconsciously. And even if it's not like a big deal or whatever, it could be something like I'm feeling down or whatever. And I kind of take the inspiration of saying that, just, life goes on or, something that's a little bit more happy and uplifting. So from the notes, then I go on to there's a folder where all the writers go and pretty much insert the quotes on a spreadsheet, and then I paste it on there, and then the graphic designers will come in and look at that, and then the translators will also come in and look at that, and they will, translate them, and the graphic designers will take the inspiration from the quote and they will just create what you end up seeing being the finished product.
That is
and
awesome.
and I know this for a fact, as Joanne said, that with the Project Magic Shop, and there are a couple of other projects that happen in AHC every single month. We so these projects that we see, or these awareness projects that you usually see on AHC, are not just put out anyhow. These writers go through a lot of research, and by research, they actually read research papers done on those disorders and diseases, and then after you're right, please correct me if I'm wrong, Joanna. After they write it, there is another person who will fact check it before it is gone for editing, and that then editing happens. And during this process, if there is some changes that has to be made, the writer and the fact checker will come back again, read it again before it goes to the graphic designers to make the graphic designs, just so you guys can be aware about things in the most normal and nice way. And I hope that you guys love these projects and love these great people who write these for us. Um, Yeah, I think Def has something to
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna say. So, Joanna, since I know you applied for writer and speaker, and I know you've done primarily the speaking portion, and I'm assuming you've gone through the training for the speaker portion. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, have you noticed since being a part of AHC, taking the different training, have you noticed a change in your mental health and how you deal with things and processing things from before starting AHC and then now? Has there been a change?
Yeah, I would definitely say there's been a quite a change from when I first started in AHC and doing the training and stuff from now to, especially when it comes to like when you're writing, it's pretty much processing your thoughts, you know. And I think sometimes when I write, whether it's a quote or whether it's a project, sometimes you're having to take a you know a bird's eye view in a way of seeing it from a third perspective, and um and with that it's kind of helped me when I'm either going through something or I'm getting anxious or you know um just life happens and everything and things seem kind of dreary. Sometimes I have to stop myself and be like, hey, now I think you're, sometimes I have to kind of, because it's easy to go down a rabbit hole and think
Mm-hmm.
of the worst possible things and be self critical because we're our own worst critic. And for me, sometimes I have to stop myself in my tracks, which can be hard and be like, okay, this is not true, like let's recap, regroup. And I think that has kind of helped me as far as like with my mental health, trying to, instead of going to the worst possible thing, trying to ask questions and being like, why are you feeling this way? Is it environmental? Is it, family related, whatever? Is it something outside of your control? I think asking those kind of questions kind of, can help me come to a conclusion of, okay, maybe this is, something that I'm dealing with that's just happening right now, or something that this is making me feel a certain way. But with that, I think it's definitely helped my writing a lot of being very, aware and careful about, you know, talking about certain things, or whether it's happy or whether it's sad.
And
I
I had,
think
oh, go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
I have the habit of cutting stuff anyways. Moving on. Moving on. I think I kind of agree with you. Being a part of AHC or being in the role, in a particular role that you have, you kind of change a lot in the sense that you kind of start seeing things differently. Since since the day I started my teaching lesson, sorry, my speaker lessons at HC, I have seen myself grown. Like the way I talk to people, the way I pick up certain clues about how people are talking, and there's a switch in me. Like I can be literally roasting them 1 second, but as soon as I feel that there's something wrong, there's a switch that happens, and I'm like, you don't have to tell me anything, but if you're going through something, please know that you're okay. Things are gonna be okay. So there's that switch. Like I've felt it. I think Tef would agree as well. I felt it in myself that I have become softer with people. Like I have become much more aware of others' feeling and not just aware of my feelings. Like even if I'm going through something, I don't want to be petty with others. Like just because I'm sad doesn't mean that I can't help them to become happier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, y'all gonna see
sometimes
my husband come in the background. He went to the store.
I guess this has helped in a way. In a way, I guess this has helped me become a better person. It has helped me sort out my own feelings as well. Because if I can pick up on others' feeling, other people feeling sad, I can pick up on myself feeling sad or things when things are a little bit different from me. I can, easily find out, oh, there's something wrong with you. Um, um, Tess, what
I,
about you?
I was gonna say that's one of the things. Um, like Joanna, I know, like for both of you, honestly, I think Joanna's going to be two. You said 2 years for you. You're about 2 years too, Kanika. And for somebody who's been a part of AHC for the past 5 years that we've been around, there has been a change. And the fact that we've changed the tutoring, we've changed the training, because what you guys have now versus what we had then, not even not even the same thing, not even in the same sphere. Like, we was literally flying by the seat of our pants trying to figure things out as we went. And it was just oh my god. Anyway, it was just a whole thing. I'm having flashbacks. That's how crazy it was. um but but the thing is, we when we came up with this new training material, when we came up with ways to make sure all the things that you guys have learned, is because we went through it first. It's because we went through all the stuff, that the tweet deck not working, having all these channels open, doing all our communication through Twitter DMs, which was not cool, not having proper translations. It was a lot. It was a lot. So for us to come up with that training to make it easier and more palatable for you guys, um, we went through it. But these are also life lessons that we take with us daily. So I'm happy that for the training, you are just such a distraction.
That's your.
He's like, I'm trying to do it peacefully. I'm trying. Between him and the dogs, I just can't. I can't be nowhere. Uh, but I feel, and I'm sure a lot of our volunteers, especially who've been around, it's not very many of us, honestly, that's been around since the inception. A lot of the management team, we all have been here since the beginning. We have this feeling of, we're happy if what we have shown you or what we have taught you guys can help you in your daily lives as well, because these are things that you ultimately don't realize you need. And then you start realizing that you're applying it to your everyday life without even having to think about it. Like Joanna said, when she's having this moment of feeling, like self-doubt or whatever, anxious, she's kind of like, okay, let me take a step back. Let me reevaluate why I'm feeling this way. Is it something I can control? Can I not? Is it family? Is it work? Is it school? Is it whatever? And then she's figuring out the best way to handle it. And, you know, those tools are things that we taught you guys to help Army, but in hindsight, you're helping yourselves too. So I feel very proud about that, because it's huge. And like you said, Kanika, it makes you that much more susceptible to being able to read people in your everyday life and seeing and how to handle what's going on with them. Normally somebody has
Yeah.
attitude, you might be quick to pop off, and you're like, hold on, what's wrong with you? I said, okay, you know what? When you're
Yeah.
ready, I'm here. I'm gonna just step back, because you keep it up, you're gonna take me to a place I don't want to be. So you just, so I think it helps that too.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even need to be there for them. Sometimes saying that I am there for you is also triggering a little bit. So I usually say just reach out to someone that you trust. Um, because I guess the word trust is a big deal especially among our generation, Joanna. I would say, because our generation has had so much trust issues that I've not seen in generations before us. Like my mother would be more willingly to trust someone than I would, and
Hmm.
similarly, I see Cliff trusting me with things I wouldn't trust myself with. So so that's the thing. But leaving this somber topic, and let's get a little bit chaotic because I love chaos. Um,
Chaos is great.
uh, you said that you've been with AHC for almost 2 years now, right? And we know the reality of what happens on Slack. And it's not just us being business people and being like, hey, I need this. Hey, okay, this. It happens sometimes, but it's not usually what happens. There's a lot of chaos that happens among all of us as well. So, my question to you, Joanna, is, are you ready to? It's not a question, but you have to be ready to dig out some dirt on the AHC volunteers and tell us your most funniest memory at being an AHC. It can be from a project that you did. It can be something really chaotic that happened in a normal chat or something.
I think me and
You know,
Joanna was getting
the
ready to go.
hashtag,
Me and
or you
Joanna
know, the
was gonna go
hashtag
at
heart
it.
stands, or hashtag heart stands account that we have. So it can be anything that you want to say about. You don't have to filter it out, but go on, let the people know the dirt.
I would say, well, two things kind of come to mind. One is I didn't realize how many Kim Tae-young stands there were in the group.
We have found.
Yeah. Like there was a whole thread. Like I think I put out something. It could have been a gift. It could have been GIF or whatever. It could have been that. It could have been, I don't know what it was, but apparently all the V bias record or whatever, everyone who had V as their bias, they were just like, you see tiger emoji, like everyone was like V, like going crazy.
Full blown feral.
And the funny thing is, the funny thing is, it's usually people. It's like part of the volunteers that I've never spoke with before. Like they literally came out after dark and just to say it came out of nowhere. It was like maybe 8 or 10 people.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, I don't know how many times you have been on the hard stance account. It's usually Tiffany who posts there, but there are some juicy pictures, guys.
Yeah. I think there was one time.
But what's the second one?
I think me and Joanna was going at it because I think we had put what was it? I want to say, was it Dane? And somebody posted the 8D version of it or something. And they were like, you gotta listen to it with headphones. And I know me and Joanna, I was like, RM's rap, and me and Joanna's like, you gonna have to get in line. I was like, what's up? And everybody in the comments were like, we're watching.
I listen to Tang in my roommate's car whenever we are driving, and I like she fears for my life at that point because I'm like, I'll dance, and I'll sing so bad, and I'll try to put the volume at like the loudest, and she'll like, Kanika, I have to hear the crowd as well. Like I have to hear the traffic. Can you know? But yeah, I mean, is there any other chaotic moment of AHC that you want to bring out from any project or something? Because people think that we are very serious people. And I wanted to let them know that even in the time of crisis, when we have to post something the next day, our chaos never stops.
No.
Yeah, well, I have another one. I don't think it's that chaotic, but it's just me. Like sometimes what will happen is that there will be, I don't know, there'll be like a quote or a tweet, something goes up. And sometimes there, like with any volunteer thing, there are mishaps and mistakes that are made. And there's been a couple times where I have DM'd, is it Kanika?
Yeah.
I have DM'd you and then like a DM'd you or anybody on the team, especially during Project Magic Shop, where it would be like there's a quote and there would be 2 ands in it. And I would DM and be like, this needs to be fixed ASAP, and be like panicking. And I'm like, the grammar nerd in me is like, help.
Oh, that happened a lot during the Project Magic Shop.
It did, and I felt bad because I was like, I don't want to go, but it's my responsibility.
It was funny though. So people who don't know what this Project Magic Shop was, it was the first project that I orchestrated. Why I'm saying orchestrated? Because I was not like it never went according to the plan we made for that project. Like we started in October, planning to no, we started that in September, planning to start the project in October, but the project actually started in December of the year. And we used to be so chaotic in the chats because when this project started, usually the only people in that group chat was me being the project manager and the volunteers who were in the group. So when Mama Carla, the CEO, came and joined the chat, she was shocked for a second as to what we were talking about. Was I guess it was a random video that I posted, and I was like, "This is something we can take inspiration from." And from that point, it went to like, "Oh God, they look so hot in here. Like, how we are going to take inspiration from them?" So the whole chat, like, literally went away. Um, I actually had a lot of fun in that project. Not gonna lie. It was Joanna, and if I'm not wrong, Aisha was there. You
Mhm.
both were the writers, and if there are so many prompts that we didn't even put out for that project because we had so many prompts and we didn't have that many days to put out those prompts. But these people wrote prompts like it was a story. Like I was in love with them. I was in love with all the prompts, and this was my used to statement. I was like, nice.
We're gonna have to
This
get
is
Joanne. Joanna's
this
gonna have to
is
write our
awesome.
promo material because I suck.
Yeah, Joanna,
Joanna,
please write a nice
I'll be sending stuff to you.
introduction for me.
I'm gonna
DM
send,
be filling up like.
I'm gonna send it to you. You'll be like, Joanna, hey, I'm gonna need. Can you send this tweet out? It's fine.
Be like
Just
that.
I'm terrible, you know. And I'm sure people know when I do it because I say the same thing. Hey, fam, what's up? Come join. They know it's me.
Mine is hey everyone, her is hey fam.
Yeah. So, Joanna, for those people who don't know, so when did you get into BTS and when did you become an army?
Okay. Well, I became an army back in 2018, and it was when it was Love Yourself Answer, and that's when they were promoting Idol. And I basically saw it because YouTube recommended it to me out of all things. Because it's funny because at that time I didn't know like I think I've heard of K-pop, but I didn't really know I didn't really know what it was. I knew it was music, but I didn't really know anything about groups and idols and anything like that. And so they were on Jimmy Fallon performing Idol, and I was like, okay, that looks interesting. So I clicked the video, and I swear I didn't even know that they were singing in Korean until the chorus because I was just so enchanted. It's not because I was stupid; it was because I was so enchanted by their performance and everything. I was like, wait, the camera angles are different. I was like, he doesn't put this much effort into anything else. It's just like one shot, and you're having all these other shots for this. And I was just like, this is cool. And then after that, hearing RM talk about, promoting the album at the time, and he was saying that it's love yourself, and I was like, what's that? I was like, what's that? What do you mean? And what do you mean love yourself? It's one of those things where it's yeah, common knowledge, love yourself. But it's another thing to put it into practice.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, a couple months later, the Love Yourself concert in Seoul was in a city that was about 45 minutes, in another city that was 45 minutes, 50 minutes away from where I live. And so I got one of my besties to go with me, and she was not an army at this point, nor was I, but I was getting there. I was getting close. So we saw it, and we came out, and we were army. So that was pretty much it. Because there were times where I was at certain eras or whatever, especially getting into it, I was like, am I going to stick this through though? Or, like sometimes you're like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then I look back at that. I was like, girl, you've been here. It's fine.
I
So
mean, I get the feelings, Joanna. I
yeah,
was here at Spring Day era. Like I started at Spring Day era, and for me, heard Spring Day, and I was like, you know what? If this group can sing like that, put out a song like that, I am a fan. I am a fan. I don't care. But the thing that you said about English, my first reaction to people asking me, not a lot of people knew that I was a fan till like 2019 or something. But when people usually used to ask me, right, like, you don't even understand what they say. I'm like, I listen to English songs, and most of the time they use accents that I don't understand. It's not like I'm understanding the English songs as well. I have to read the lyrics to understand what they said.
Mhm.
So I'm okay reading the lyrics for those as well. I don't mind. I can feel the feeling. So that's okay. But I'm, I mean, I'm jealous of you because you went to a concert, even though I
I
was
think
an
she went
army
to
before you.
the theater, right? Because it was the Soul one
I
that
went
they
to the
just
Ah,
theater.
the
yeah.
theater one. Ah, now I'm
So
not
yeah, so
jealous.
we have a comment, and they wanted to know where we were all from. So I'm in Georgia, like literally next door to Joanna.
Not me.
Yeah, you're
Me,
up.
I'm from Alabama.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
I'm from Pittsburgh, but as you can hear it from my accent, I was not born in the States. I was born in India, and then my parents kicked me out of the country. No, no,
don't you
that's
listen to
not
her.
what happened.
Don't you? I'm telling
Plot
your. I'm
twist.
telling your mama. I'm telling your mama.
That's not what happened. But I wanted to be a neurobiologist, so I moved to another country to do my masters, and now I'm here.
I'm
Hee
telling your
Didn't
mom.
have to tell you.
Telling your mom.
Please don't.
I'm telling.
She, she thinks I'm the sweetest child.
I'm
Let's just
telling.
leave it like.
I am telling. Soon as we if we on and she calls, I'm telling. I'm telling.
For a fact, I know if she calls and you're there, she'll be like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I expect out of her. She is not good for anything." But
So so
my mother is
Joanna,
a lovely person, guys.
she is. She's sweet. So Joanna, who's your bias?
Mm.
RM. Duh.
Oh,
It's like,
I I just
I
I
just,
have so many things I can make fun.
I just
I
wanted
can
everybody
literally
to
make you
hear it.
jealous.
I already knew, but
yeah. I'm a minority because I took a quiz on BuzzFeed because it was like saying, see how popular something about biases in groups. And RM was like 9%. I was so sad. He was toward the bottom of the list. I was like, am
See,
I'm not.
I don't believe in biases at this point. Like I
Yeah.
won't lie. My first bias was Kim Taeyong because why we both are not from this world. Like no, not
yeah.
no way. But at this point, I'm like, you say anything about any one of them, I'm gonna come at you for sure. And any of them release anything, I go crazy. Like literally, I go crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
I
I
can't
love Mono so much that I bought like the shoes.
I can't believe that RM is at the bottom. However, though, I'm only gonna say that probably because not a lot of people took that quiz, and everybody who usually takes that quiz is like Jimin bias. Everybody like I love Jimin
Yeah.
to pieces, but like everybody be so thick on Jimin. I'm like, y'all give this man some space. And just for the record, the other six are just as wonderful. Like
True.
All
it makes
seven
my
are like.
insides kind of
See, I feel
do
like
that.
all the Mangne line gets more recognition because the Mangne
Yeah.
line usually has biases in younger people. And younger people are usually the people on these apps who go and do these quizzes and stuff, which is how you get the data that they can tell you who has what's the rarest and what's not the rarest. So I guess that's about it. But now my friends are confused as to who my bias is now because they're like, Kanika, you just talk about all of them like at the same level.
Yeah.
Who's your bias? And I'm like, I don't know.
You know what's funny? So none of my friends know who my bias is. They are not that deep. Like they know I'm into it, and then that's the extent of their knowledge. My husband don't even know who. He can't even tell. He can't even pick one and say that's him. But I'm JK biased, which I know a lot of us older women tend to be JK biased because he be snatching us, you know. But I remember being in New York at the Lime store, and somebody was like, "Oh, you're a BTS fan." I'm like, "Absolutely, I'm Army, absolutely." And they were like, "Well, who's your bias?" I said, "Well, you know what? The way I see it, the Lord put together 7 men so I could have one each day of the week.
Mm, there you
I
go.
have a bias
Okay,
each day of
so
the week, you know." Sundays could be JK, Mondays could be June. You know what I mean? Like you got one for every day, and then
so there is a holy story in India where one female had 7 husbands or 5 husbands. I don't know, 5 husbands maybe. So I was like, if she can have 5, I can have 7.
Yeah, it's just
I
two
mean,
more.
it's,
yeah,
it's not
it's
like it's
just
not like I'm being disloyal to anyone. I'm just being loyal to 7 people.
loving everybody equally, loving everybody
Yes,
Yeah,
equally.
yes.
love yourself and love others.
Yes. Also, I would like to point out a Army fail. Okay, this is an Army fail, and it's totally my fault. So my mom and I were leaving for Vegas. We were leaving for Vegas Thursday morning, and we were at the McDonald's having to we were getting something to eat. So I'm standing there waiting. We're standing there, and this girl has this tattoo on her arm that says "Love Yourself," and I just happened to see it, and I'm like, oh, "Is she an Army? Oh my God, I'm spotting armies in the wild." Yes. So I go up and I said, "That's a nice tattoo. You gotta love yourself. Like what'd you get it for?" You know, like I'm ready. Okay, like I am ready to
Mm-hmm.
jump out of my Army skin. And she was like, "Oh, I got it because I just love myself. I love who I am." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah,
And like just it's like my height of excitement went here, and then when she said that, I was like,
yeah.
pew, just a nose dive. I was like,
Why you? Okay, sorry.
and my mom just giggled at me, and I'm like, I thought I saw Army in the Wild. Never mind. Let's just go
I
wait
am
for our plane.
so I'm no. So with me, what happened is once I saw someone having like a chummy BT-21, and I was like, oh, are they army? Are they army? And I like obviously you have a chummy. How would I? Why would I think that you're not an army if you have a chummy BT-21? So I just went up and I was like, oh, is there any bias? And she was like, what? I'm like, do you know BTS? It was such a awkward moment, and she was like, no, weirdo. And I was like, I'm sorry, I just saw that plushy thingy on you, and it's a BTS thingy. So I'm sorry. And I literally ran out of that place. I was like,
Can we get all these people to stop buying their stuff and having us have our heart palpitations up because we think we're spotting armies in the wild and they're just regular GP folks buying it
Yeah.
because they think
and
it's
then
cute?
and then they think that we are stupid. And I'm like, no, it's you. Why are you having some army stuff? And armies are crying to have it and they don't have it. It's a sad situation that happens. Um,
So,
uh,
Joanna, the next question I have: what is your favorite album and or
ooh.
favorite song?
Oh goodness, that's so hard.
It is.
That was a mean question, Steph. That was a very mean question. Let me ask you that question once he's done.
You can ask me. I know mine.
I think I have. I think I have my. I have my favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite song
Okay, what
yet,
about
but
favorite album?
album I would have to say Month 7.
Ooh, yeah, good
Just
choice.
because I think it's a good, because at that point it was 7 years since they debuted, but also I think it was like, I mean, apart from 2020 being a horrible year, that album still had so many records and stuff, and I feel like I just will never get over I will never get over the fact that like on it got more praise later on and stuff. Okay, but like I felt like it could have been that. It's still that song, but it just could have. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like what could have been, but at the same time, it's an album that I think it just holds like a special place in my heart because I feel like it perfectly encapsulates all like that BTS is, and that the music that they're continuing to make, it still kind of like holds its ground.
Yeah.
In a way.
Okay.
So no favorite song though.
My
favorite song, I don't know if I could pick one because they're all so like, I mean, okay, I will say I like the song. It's an oldie, but I feel like it's really underrated. Look Here.
I thought you were going to say War of Hormones. Come on, guys, please respect War of Hormones.
Too, but I mean that one, it's already a bop, you know. I like Look Here. I like Microcosmos. I like Stay.
Oh yeah.
Stay. Ooh.
From the B album. Yeah. I feel like that one's a little under. That was my opinion. And of course, Run BTS.
That song right there.
That song has like my heart, my lungs, my liver, my kidneys.
That song get played, everybody jumping in. It don't matter what.
Oh yeah. I'm like, it should have.
You're right. A lot of their older songs are underrated. Like you say, Map of the Soul 7 for your favorite album. I feel like Respect. That is my favorite song off that album, and it doesn't get the respect it deserves. That song is such a jam.
Which one?
People talk about louder. People talk louder. People talk about louder than bombs now, but still no one talks about Respect. And I'm like, that's just so disrespectful for Respect. But
I love Louder Than Bombs. Don't get me wrong, but it's maybe because of my age.
We're talking about the songs that don't get recognition here. No hate to any song, guys. If you love Louder Than Bombs, I love Louder Than Bombs. There's not a single song that I don't like. I just have something that I like more and something that I don't like that much. And there was something that Suga said recently in his one of the such a episodes, that it just becomes okay if I put out anything. Like people will be like, "Oh, this is great," but sometimes it's not good, and they're still like, "It's good." I mean, we all should be respectful of that and remember that one of the best BTS songs is War of Hormones.
Of course you would. I like War of Hormones. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. But Respect hits me because I think it's that because of my age. I think it's got a lot of
I was kidding.
Vibe to it.
Okay, so with War of Hormones, why I'm always like this is because people say it's such a it's women subjectifying song, and I'm like, dude, you listen to songs by women that subjectifies women, so please don't say that. He's just trying to love a female from all the parts of female. So I don't feel like.
And honestly, I'll say this as somebody who is a mom of a boy, War Hormones and having all brothers, I am the only girl. War Hormones is essentially coming from the teenage male perspective. They are not thinking with their brain. Okay, just let's be honest.
Exactly.
And they wrote about it. They wrote about what it's like to go through those.
They just wrote about their feelings.
That's what it is. It's not objectifying women. That's what boys do. They're like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old.
Let's be honest. Female objectifies male. This is the truth. It's not just the guys looking at us. Girls look at the guys as well. Let's be honest, right? But we are not going to forget that I'm going to ask Tiffany what her favorite album and her favorite song is.
Oh, my favorite album, hands down, is Tear. Love Yourself, Tear. That
Mm.
is by far my favorite album.
That'd probably be
Um,
my second.
yeah, that is my favorite album by far, just because it's got all my jams on there. Okay, like when I first heard On Palm Man, you could not stop me. Okay, like God bless my friends in my WhatsApp chat. Okay, because when that song came out, I was doing videos of me picking my son up, talking, man, dancing in the car, the whole nine, at home twerking, yeah, woo, tearing it up. That is my jam. But my favorite song, all time favorite song, is Autumn Leaves. And it don't get the love it deserves. I love Autumn Leaves.
I think I did send you this. I did send you the painting that I made, taking inspiration from Autumn Leaves, right?
No, I haven't seen it. But if you do have one,
Uh,
don't show me, because if you plan on sending it, I don't want to see it until I get it, because I love being surprised.
no, it's not the one that I'm sending you.
Oh,
But
okay. But yeah, Autumn Leaves,
the
it doesn't get the praise.
I love Autumn
It
Leaves.
doesn't
Autumn
get the
Leaves is
praise it
such a
deserves, but
inspiration.
I love that. But Love Yourself, Tear, that album in itself just has everything for me anyway, like my whole roller coaster of emotions. But my second favorite song is Outro Tear. Like that,
Yes.
I don't never skip that song. It don't matter what mood I'm
Outro Tear
in.
is Outro Tear is an art.
And then when
You
you find
can't.
out why the song was written, it hits way
Mm.
different after you hear, why it was written and everything, and you're like that, like it's like a gut punch. But I Kanika, I know you're gonna hate me, but just know I love you, okay? But to see Outward Tier live and Hobie
I
in that
hate
Dior outfit,
Tiffany so much for
I'm
saying
so
this out
jealous.
loud.
yeah,
Like, I hate you.
I know. I love you though. I love you. But seeing Hobie in
Um,
that Dior outfit, singing that live, let's
it's
just
doing
say I
things to me.
cannot post the video because I am in there cussing like nobody. I'm like, no, Jude! Oh my God! No, Jude! Like,
Yeah.
that's all you hear. Yeah, baby, I was shouting for your man because now Jude was out there just, I was like, who, what, when, where, how, what? So, yeah, yeah. So that's second out. Yeah, Love Yourself Tear, my favorite album. Like, just hands down, it's got everything. It's got my little jams. I can be in there twerking. I can be in there just
Hmm.
singing whatever song I want to sing.
Diana said that Autumn is yes. Have you
Diana G be
watched
on
The
it.
Rise
Hey
of Power?
Diana, hey girl, hey fam, come on. She be
Sejal
in
is
like
like,
playing.
Sejal is saying, have you watched The Rise of Bantam? Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
The
But I heard
people
she was
who
taking it
haven't
off her
watched The Rise of
channel.
Bantam, you should watch.
But
Hmm?
I heard that Anise was taking it off her channel, so I don't know if she did or not. But I heard that she was taking it off. But yeah.
I think she did.
Uh, so Joanna, next question. Because we tend to go a little over, but we're not gonna keep you that long. We're not gonna keep you that long.
Sorry.
What a question would be, what do you think, or what was one, um being a part of AHC, what was a moment that you felt really, really great about some of the work you've done, or just a moment that has happened within AHC that kind of like just made you kind of feel very proud about being a part of AHC? And y'all, excuse my voice. It's spring is coming, so it's tearing me up.
I would definitely say, only because I haven't worked on many projects and everything. I would definitely say the Project Magic Shop in 2021. And whenever I've written any birthday messages about any of the boys, I think, well, Project Magic Shop, it just brings back, I think anyone in the fandom who's been here, for a couple of years, that song is kind of, it brings back it brings back kind of like a nostalgic memory when I went to see the movie. And when that song played and I was like watching them sing it and everything, it was just kind of like this moment where I felt like I've always like music and everything. My dad is he's self-taught musician, plays guitar, piano. Same thing with his dad, basically taught himself how to play guitar and stuff like that. So music has definitely come from my family and everything, but music always moves us, whether it's happy or sad and everything. But when that song played, it was just kind of like I was feeling all these feelings that I've never kind of felt before. It was just more like I was, even though I didn't understand what they were saying, I knew what they meant.
The feeling. The feeling.
I knew exactly what they were conveying, and I didn't have to have, of course I looked up the lyrics later on, but I didn't have to have a whole like transcript, luckily, of what they were conveying, because it was that moment of like, I think I might be a part of it. I think because it's like they had these catchy songs and stuff like that, but then once that song played, it kind of just stirred something in me where I was like, I just felt like very like overwhelmed, like in a good way, kind of like it kind of is like that comfort song, but at the same time, just cutting to Project, Magic Shop, kind of how that song encapsulates, that you can come here and find comfort, and when you get tired or whatever, and how Army is like that, like the synergy between BTS and Army, it would not exist without the fan base, just like it would exist without the boys. And just the interaction that Army has online, and how there's this kind of mutual like almost like you've known each other for a long time, and you're just kind of making, whether it's like memes or whatever, or whether it's having like a serious discussion, there's this almost familiar, it's almost like you're just like you've never met this person before, but it's almost like a pen pal in a sense, where it's like you've never met each other before, but there's the kind of this mutual like love that you have for each other. And to be a part of that Project Magic Shop, and just the writing that I get to do, it's just very like it just brings a lot of joy to my Army heart. And also just to see, how much I love and admire the boys and what they do.
I like that. That's good. I love when joy comes to Army Hearts. I got two armies that live in Alabama. I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
Yeah. One of them is one of our volunteers. Melissa. She's in Alabama.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is AHC. Sorry, this month is for AHC, and I guess me and Cliff usually are the host for this channel, so we don't really talk about a lot of things that happens to us being at AHC. But this being time for us, time for the volunteers, time for the people who had made AHC, or time for the building blocks of AHC. I would say, Tiff, what was the moment that you felt really proud of AHC, or you felt really proud to be a part of AHC?
Oh God, you're gonna make me say this. For those of you that are on here, y'all know I'm the sissy lala of the group. I like cry at everything. There's been several. There's been several. I know one of them. Um, like we had Roseanne on our channel, and
Oh
I
yeah,
know one of them was when she
he was
had
also
the
fantastic.
This is BTS Army, and they talked about like AHC was there. They talked about all the Army, uh, platforms that are on Twitter and things like that for all this stuff. And when I saw us, I was just like, y'all, we made it.
Aw.
Because then when I watch other reactors, that is one of the videos that they watch as far
Mm,
as trying to understand army and what it is. And then when they comment on like, oh my god, they have stuff for lawyers and academies and mental health, I'm like, we
mm,
do, we got it,
mhm, mhm,
so I have that. But honestly, in all honesty, anything that we do, anything that we're involved in, and it's out there, I feel proud. I try not to cry, but I do. Like, I feel very proud. I feel
mhm.
great to be a part of it. Because we've been in several things, like when they were doing Map of the Soul, we did a whole project, Map of the Soul project. Carla was our CEO was put into one of the books, and said thanks to BTS and like I feel proud for anything that we do, and being a part of it, especially. And, Joanna, as you understand, America, we've been going through some things. Okay, we've been stressing some folks out, stressing a lot of people out, and for Army to go and donate for the Black Lives Matter movement, like that was huge. Just in general, because it's like holy crap, and people are like, they did Army did what? They raised how much and how, and I'm like, yeah, we did that. That's what we do. We as a collective try to make the world a better place no matter how big or small the steps are. And honestly, that's what makes me proud to be an Army and proud to be a part of AAC, because I feel like being a speaker too, I feel like I've helped some people. Now, they may not come right out and say it like, oh, Tiffany helped me at AAC or this person, but I just feel good knowing that for that brief amount of time that I may have talked to somebody, maybe I've calmed them down. Maybe I've helped them to understand that they are not by themselves when they feel like they are. Um, and let them know that even at my age, even at 40, I can still understand and feel what you may feel, even though you're younger than me. And a lot of times people think that as we get older, we don't understand what y'all going through. And I'm like, yes, yes, we
Mm.
do. And the only difference is it was a little bit harder because we didn't have social media. We didn't have all of that stuff. So those things, I get it. So just to be able to help someone just a little bit, even minute, small, I'm very proud of that. So yeah. So Kanika, what about you? One of your proud moments of AHC?
I am usually a person who doesn't really get proud of myself real fast. I do act like I'm proud of everything I do, but that's not a reality. When it comes to things that I usually feel proud of, they are very, very less in number. Um, I do feel happy about things, but it's not easy for me to like be proud. So, as Joanna said, Project Magic Shop was a baby to me. Okay, I had fished Project Magic Shop thrice before it went on for the project to actually be there. And we went through a lot in that project, like scheduling and stuff. And there was a lot to kind of monitor as well. Because as this song said, we wanted armies to have a safe space where they could, you know, get it off their chest, just say it in front of everyone without any fear. Like, yes, I'm going through a problem. Yes, it is a problem. Yes, I feel bad about it. And not have anyone say anything negative to them. So we had to monitor everything. We had to monitor all those tweets that were happening. So we had to make sure that anything that was under that hashtag was safe for the armies. And at the end of that project, we got a lot of, I guess, Joanna would agree to this. We got a lot of messages from a lot of armies saying that this was therapeutic. Like, this helped them. Like, just saying it out loud in front of everyone helped them. Like, they were able to tell their stories, and there were so many stories. And that was not something that we wanted to do to help them in the sense that we were going to talk about it. No, it was something for them to let it out, to know that there is there. This is the magic shop. This is the magic shop where they can say anything and everything. So once that project was over, and because I'm a speaker, I could just go on. I was on TweetDeck and I was seeing all these messages, and I guess it was so hard. It was like for the first time in my life, I felt like I actually did something good. And this is after I got my master's degree, where everyone was like, "You should be proud, you have a master's degree now." And I was like, "Nah."
I
But
wish.
that one project, it made me so, so proud. The second proud thing I would say being at AHC was uh, was to talk to Razan. The thing that no one knew before this, I think Tiff also didn't knew about it, was that I came to know about AHC through Razan.
That
So it
video.
was a whole
Mm.
it was a 360 degree from, where you watched a video from someone you really like, apply to that area, like apply to that, uh,
Organization.
yeah, apply to that organization, get selected in that organization, come up with a plan to make lives happen from that organization, and talk to the person who was really the start of everything. It was like my heart felt such an overwhelming feeling that I don't think I will ever be able to put that into words properly, the feeling that I had. So that was one proud moment. The last, as Tiff said, that we get to talk to a lot of people as speakers. We get to talk through different situations, and as a speaker, we I can't tell things that I'm talking about with someone. Like if someone is going through a situation, I can't tell anyone else about that situation. But sometimes when you see them getting better, sometimes when you see them becoming happier, so you feel that in their messages as well. Like the way they say the messages, that changes. The way they show their emotion changes. The way they portray things changes. And it's very that is one thing I was saying that has changed in me being a part of AHC. And that minute thing, without them saying that I have helped them, that minute things of them showing change, them showing a positive change, as I wouldn't say it makes me proud, but it gives me immense happiness. And I don't think so I've ever experienced that kind of happiness before this. Um, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And with thank you to all our people that are on, even though, okay, let me just say this. We are well aware that we don't get a lot of views, okay? We are well aware. However, however, our ride or die, Diana G, girl, you be in, she be in all the time. And
Diana
I
is always
appreciate
a
that. But for those of you that are watching, or those of you that come on later and see this, just know that these women that are here with me, Joanna and Kanika, again, as being the oldest, literally the oldest member of AHC right now on this thing, and the oldest member as being a part of it. Again, I can honestly say that we would not be here if it weren't for people like Joanna and like Kanika. We would not. AHC would not be what it is. We would not still be up and running. We would not be able to do the things that we do if it weren't for people like Joanna and Kanika putting their time and effort into the things that we do for Army to make sure you all have a safe space to be able to communicate and vent and explain and kind of just sort through your feelings. So as somebody who is a part of the management team and as part of AHC, I personally would like to thank both of you for your time and your effort for being a part of it for the last 2 years. And I hope God, I'm about to cry, Jesus. I just when it comes to
While
AHC,
you
I can't
cry,
help it. I cannot help it. It's just it's
while you cry, I have to say that Tiff is saying a lot for the volunteers, but a big portion of everything being managed properly, everything running normally. Us, because we are the volunteers, we panic like this. Like a few days ago, tweet deck was down and I started panicking. I called right away FT. I was like, tweet deck is not working. What do I do? What do I do? So it's our
oh,
panic, but they solve it out. Like they solved it. They are the ones who solve it. So as much as the volunteers make it, see, we can never forget the hard work that the management team puts out to make sure that everything is organized. It's the management team who actually
we do our best.
trains the volunteers to be
We do our
what they
best.
are doing.
So
So
before we leave, I was gonna say we have
it's
a
a
comment from and again if I butcher your name, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible. And actually I'm gonna when I read this comment, Joanna, if possible, if you feel comfortable, I would like you to respond to this Army if you're comfortable after I read this comment,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So Tanika, you might have to help me.
Faz,
Yeah.
Fazil.
Fazil Mahad. I am very sad because recently my father passed away. I'm 20 years old and the eldest son of my family. Pray for me and my family. So I just wanted to let you respond to that and maybe give, your take, your words of encouragement, whatever you would like to say to this Army who posted that.
Okay. Um, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know that this probably won't make them feel any better. I don't know. I lost my grandfather two years ago, and though his health and I don't know their situation or whatever, and though my grandfather's health was declining and everything, it still was, took a toll and everything. But you know, um, if anything, I don't. My only advice would be is just to cherish the memories that you made with that person, and you know, and by talking about them, that really talking about if they made you laugh, if they made you feel good, just speaking their name brings there's a healing there. It might not feel like it at the time, and I know that grief is it's a very difficult thing, and if you need to cry. If you don't want to talk, then don't talk. But just I will say it will be hard, but like BTS says, life goes on. I know it's very cliche, but just hang tight with your family or your support system, the people around you. Just cherish them, and just grieve how you just do what you need to do to keep their memory alive and to heal yourself, I would say.
Yeah, great.
And to add on to that, uh, I know that you said that you're the eldest son of the family. Please don't feel pressurized as to not feel things, not feel sad, or not feel a bit upset about the situation. This is a sad situation, and that's the reality. That's the reality. No one can change it. Obviously, it was your father. So if you feel sad, you have all the rights to feel sad. You have all the rights to feel that hurt. Don't trust to be the eldest son of the family. Please don't suppress your sadness or your hurt from the situation. Um, and we will pray for you and your family, and I hope things get better for you. But please take care of yourself and please don't suppress your emotions.
I was gonna add to that, but I guess not because you guys have said everything that I think needed to be said perfectly. Because at the end of the day, like Joanna said, grief is grief, and everybody grieves in their own way and in their own manner, and you have to find out what's the best for you. And like Kanika said, even though you are the eldest son, that doesn't mean you don't get to grieve and you don't get to you have to have those emotions because as and speaking as an eldest daughter, the oldest in the whole thing, um, it's hard. And sometimes you just have to go through your emotions, deal with them because then that's going to help you be able to comfort your younger siblings. Because if they see that you're hurting and just as upset, then that makes them feel that much more comfortable in expressing how they feel. So just keep that in
Yeah.
mind. Um, we're not going to hold Joanna hostage any longer because I keep saying that, but we always end up holding our guests hostage longer than we intend to. Um, but for those of you who have come, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your support does mean a lot to us. And we know it's a small little community, but we have a good time with you guys anyway. So continue to support us and come by and hang out. And hopefully we can have more volunteers on because, again, without them,
Yeah,
AHC wouldn't
nothing.
be here. So we just wanted to shine the light on the people that help us do what we are able to do. And with that being said, happy birthday to AHC, to any of our volunteers that are watching. We love you guys. Thank you for all that you do. And if we
And
see you later, we love
yeah,
you.
and I'll just end this with saying this is a Valentine's week, and armies, we love each other. So happy Valentine's to all my Valentines out there. There are just 7 Valentines that I have. Just saying. But happy Valentine's to everyone. Please stay happy, feel loved, even if you're single. And if you want to feel a little bit petty about being single during the Valentine's week, you can. You have all the rights to do that. But stay happy. Keep your emotions on check. Don't suppress them. And reach out if you need. Reach out to anyone you think would be the safest option for you. And as I usually end this with giving the disclaimer, you can always reach out to AHC. AHC is always there for you guys. We'll help you as much as we can. But please remember, we don't do therapies, we don't do analysis of your situation. We're just as a listening ear. But if things do get bad, we have trainings to, some of us have trainings to handle a lot of situations. So if you're going through something, please reach out. Please reach out.
Yes.
Thank you.
And on that note, we will catch you guys next week. Because, yes, I think we have one lined up for next week, too. So, bye, Joanna.
It's the
Thank you so
birthday
much.
month.
Bye.